Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Genuine Apbt. Well, it looks like on today's episode, I'm going to be addressing a topic that I've probably made 3 videos on, but it just seems to keep coming back over and over again. So what I'd like to do is maybe redefine some terms, give my opinion on some transparency that's missing in our community, the Apbt community, and then state where I'm at, where I fall on all of this, just to be transparent, right? Because if I'm going to talk about truth and honesty and transparency, I definitely want to state where I am. All right, so here we go. The first thing I'd like to do is just bring a little definition to some of the terms. Tested dogs, proven dogs, working dogs. Those terms seem to be synonymous with one another, meaning that they mean the same thing. Historically, we all know what that meant, right? Before it was illegal, it was fighting dogs, dogs that were truly matched in real matches, not just some, 10, 15-minute role as a schooling for a young dog. No, these were real matches. That's historical. But it seems like today, a lot of people are throwing these terms around as if they're involved in it or if they have a really high standard and that's really what they want. They want working dogs. Make sure that your dog is a working dog. If your dog isn't a working dog and it just has a pretty pedigree or a nice bloodline or good paperwork or it's bred really, really well, but it's not working and it's not tested and it's not proven. Hey, do you really know what you're talking about? How many matches have you been to? How many of these have you participated in? Probably 0 real matches, right? Because it's illegal. And if it's illegal and you're on social media or YouTube talking about this, you're a fool. So you got to be really careful, right? If you're that type of person that's throwing these terms around loosely and wanting them to sound like they're connected to history, no good, no good. Now, pedigrees, registered dogs, good bloodlines, breeding with strategic pedigrees and trying to bring out traits in the past with specific dogs. Most of the people, here we go again, that are out there talking like they know or they are experienced in breeding and preserving the American Pit Bull Terrier according to good, well planned out breedings, probably don't have either registered dogs or pedigreed dogs with good bloodlines, or if they do have registered dogs, it's probably not from really good bloodlines. So they don't hold them to a high standard because it really hasn't cost them any work. They really haven't been involved in preserving them and working at them. And the guys that breed and are really careful with their bloodlines, you know what I'm talking about. That's why we love them, right? So I don't know where they ended up being against each other, because in the past history, people that fought these dogs and matched these dogs before it was illegal, they held pedigrees and bloodlines to a super high standard, because it went along with their dog. And I've touched that before, so I'm not going to talk about that again. The pedigrees represent the traits that are supposed to show up in the dog. But they held them so high that they held them close. They didn't let out dogs. And if they let out dogs, they usually hand wrote the pedigrees and they weren't completely honest about it. Why? Because the competition was really high and they weren't going to let out what their pedigrees truly were. Now I'm going to let you know where I fall on all this. Since it is illegal, since I don't condone dog fighting, dog matching, any of that stuff, I fall heavily on pedigree breeding. Yeah. Oh, are you shocked? Oh, no, I'm not selling tested dogs, proven dogs, working dogs. Yes, I am. They're tested and proven to the traits that I want, which is temperament, intelligence, and health. All the athleticism, the intensity, the prey drive, it comes with it. We have a great, super high percentage of that, and we are super satisfied with that. And we breed the best to best that hold our traits and the athleticism that historically has been part of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So it's working for us. I want to be so far away from anyone that is throwing those terms around and wanting them to sound historical, like if you're involved in that and you know what to look for even, I don't want to be part of that. I'll tell you how it works. If you were to call me and ask me for a puppy and you bring up any of those terms in a historical sense, and it's not just to bring up history and learn, but like if you're involved, you're not getting the puppy. Anyways, yeah, you know what? Pretty pedigree or good pedigree or great bloodlines, I'll take it all day long because that's how I'm preserving the dog. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you know what? You wouldn't understand it even if I explained it. And that's obvious by just hearing people on the internet. Well, guys, like always, know them, love them, and raise them responsibly. And breed only great pedigree dogs that are living up to the traits that you're looking for, that are completely legal. And that's how we're going to preserve the American Pit Bull Terrier.